Anyway, we are here. It's Matt Williams. Welcome. Have you trimming up, Matt?
Trim it up? Nah, I'm about the same weight, I think. I'm like 108 or something, staying around that. 108 kg.
Well, you're looking a bit chiselled in the face. Have you been running up those hills?
It's been hard a couple of weeks, to be fair. But yeah, just got the championships 6th of April. So yeah.
Since we last spoke then, what have you been up to? Let us know your fights and obviously the outcome and what's coming up next.
So I've had 2 fights since we last spoke. I've just been doing a lot of sparring really. Max has got me a lot of sparring. So yeah, just putting the rounds in. Been training hard for the championships really, which is should be good.
Going in with the professionals, it seems to be second nature for you. And one thing I will say for obviously the viewers that haven't seen Matt fight is, I'll use the word relentless. You just don't seem to tire. You've just done, what, 12 rounds in there, was it, today?
I did a few rounds today and then just got the circuit in and that after. And then, yeah, just got to keep fit because probably have a little rest week now.
Yeah.
And then 6th, we're back on it.
So talk to us a little bit about the championships that you've got coming up next. Educate the rookies that don't understand the amateur system and let us know what you have to do to basically win that. Just break it down for the, what shall we say, amateurs for dummies.
So it's there's going to be like a draw and then you find out who you're boxing for the 6th. And then if you go through there, it goes to the next weekend. And then that will be the quarters and the semis. And if you go through there again, final, and then hopefully go on to win it really. That's it, that's the main thing.
So you know the process of it, and obviously there's different like championships as it were to win. How does that carry on through the year and how does that, yes, there's experience and obviously you're fighting people from all over the place, but talk about getting you instead for eventually turning over pro, that invaluable experience with the professionals in here and then pushing through the amateur system as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've had quite a few amateur fights now and the sparring, I've had so much sparring, like you couldn't ask for any better sparring really. So I've had quite a lot of experience for these championships and just as amateur in general, just had quite a lot.
And how does it like bring you on? Have you noticed, like, say for example, I guess fights just turn into fights, but when do they become like educational fights and you look at your skills and abilities and you think, oh, okay, I can start to see some like real improvement there?
Yeah, it definitely helps with all the different styles and that. It's like you start thinking about what you're throwing and that instead of just like mindlessly going forward. It's all the different styles and all the different rounds. It teaches you a lot of what to do and think and stuff like that in the ring.
So when you like downloading that information, you get your opponent in. How long now does it sort of like take you to sort of like suss out their rhythm, probably anticipate what they're going to do so you can counter that and dominate?
Well, it's like, because it's only 3 rounds really, it's quite hard to suss them out. So it's just, if it flows really, and it's like, it depends what style they've got in it, and but hopefully after the first you're in your rhythm and hopefully the next 2 rounds you win them, hopefully.
I'm not asking you to give away any like kind of house secrets, but when you look at styles, which style would you say is the most, not tricky for you, but that will really keep you sharp? What type of fighter is it where you know that's the type of style that you're really going to have to work on because they pose not great difficulty, but they can force you on the back foot because you're continuously coming forward?
The fights I've had the most struggle with have been the ones where they're like trying to hold and wrestle you, and when they're putting the pressure on and they're like strong, big guys, it's like when they stop like the rhythm, that's the ones I'm struggling with. But hopefully you just learn and hopefully one day it becomes second nature, innit?
They say that practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes permanent. I'm going to say 2 years. I know I asked you this last time, but the thing is, in life, we're susceptible to changing our minds because things happen, things change. Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 2 years, Matt?
Don't really know. Hopefully just doing well in it. Like, you never know what's around the corner, really. It's like, you never know what could happen. Hopefully I'll win these championships, hopefully, but you never know what's around the corner, like turning pro or going on to be amateur. But whatever comes forth, really, whatever. Yeah.
The only reason why I ask you that is because there's been some conversation around the amateur scene, whether amateur boxers, there should be an age limit. So basically, you can only be an amateur up to you, 22. Saves you staying in the system for too long, and then you're coming out in the pros. And what are your thoughts on that as an amateur fighter?
I do agree that people are staying in the amateurs way too long. I think an age limit is pretty wrong, really, because some people don't start till late, innit? Like if you don't start till late,
You'll never have that opportunity.
Yeah, but it's good that, you know, like some people are in the amateurs for too long, but you know, if you enjoy it, innit? It's like whatever pleases you, really, innit? Just do that.
So rather not an age limit, then what about a time period? So you're only allowed to be an amateur fighter for, say, I don't know, 6 years max. What about that?
I think, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like, but you're probably going to have some people who are training on and off, and who, you know what I mean. So it is good enough, like, because it'll make the pro game better, innit? But it's just, I don't know. I'm not. That's above me. That stuff. You know what I mean?
Above your pay grade.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's good to get like thoughts of yourselves that are in the system, what you think of it, and you know, throw in those ideas that I'm hearing from like the professional scene. And the only reason why I asked that, because obviously Fraser Clark went in with Fabio Wardley, and a lot of the criticism was he's been in the amateurs too long, he's only had a certain amount of fights, we haven't seen much from him as a professional. Fabio's got that experience, we know that he's relentless, we know what he's like when he's on the back foot. So Fraser was kind of like a little bit in the mud going into that fight. Yeah. But look what he did, look how he showed that he's a lot better than people think he is.
Yeah, that was a really good fight. That was probably one of the best I've watched. Like, because normally I watch them the next day, innit? But that was a good one I watched live, and yeah, that was a really good fight.
Because you have shared rounds, you've been up to spar Fraser, so you know him quite well. So, what was your thoughts of him going into the fight compared to how he ended up?
Yeah, I thought that he was going to do well. I thought he was going to go to points. I didn't see anyone knocking each other out, but I thought people were just underestimating him quite a lot. But obviously he put the work in and that, so yeah, he's done quite well in my opinion. Yeah,
we love it, and let's face it, that's going to be you one day.
Yeah, hopefully. You know.
Listen, thank you so much for your time, Matt. All the best on the weekend, and no doubt I'll see you soon.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.